I just love showing that meal prep doesn't need to be that complicated. And when you don't need to turn on the oven, you don't need to turn on your stove top, it feels so much more doable. And that's just my goal with everything. Even if you make one of these recipes, each of them are very quick. They don't have a lot of ingredients. Again, you don't have to turn the oven on. I feel like everything's very flavor packed. It's nutritious. It's gonna be delicious. I think everything came out great. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is gonna be another Sunday meal prep video. It's the night before my meal prep. I'm gonna do all of my grocery shopping tonight, so I wanna take you guys with me again. I'm kind of taking on a challenge for this week's meal prep. It's all gonna be no bake, not turning on the oven, the stovetop, air fryer, anything like that at all. So I spent a while trying to figure out exactly what would taste the best, and I'm really excited to show you guys everything that I make. So I'm about to head out to the grocery store. Let's just go. As you guys know, I like to switch it up and go to all different stores. So I'm gonna go to Whole Foods this time. Another key to successful grocery shopping, always bring a sweatshirt because it gets so cold. So I always get this question, if you're shopping on a budget, why would you go to Whole Foods? And I totally understand the question. I find Whole Foods to be really affordable for the kind of things that we're gonna be picking up today, like your fruits and veggies or your canned goods or things like that, especially because I'm not gonna be getting any meat today. I'm expecting it to be pretty affordable. The other thing is, I know you guys are located all over, so I like to just show all different grocery stores. Like if you live in a city like me, Whole Foods might be the realistic option. I just like to show different options, and you know, we all have our favorites. All right, I'm in the parking lot. The sun is really coming down right now. It's sunset. I love going to the grocery store at night. I feel like it's so much better, especially on a weekend day, because I'm not trying to deal with the traffic of the lanes in there. So I'm excited to be here and not feel overwhelmed, hopefully. The other good thing about Whole Foods is I always find a really nice sweet treat or like fun snack or something like that. So hopefully I find something that we can try together. All right, let's go. Grab one of these. These are so cute. All right, grocery shopping is done. I guess I forgot one thing about going at night is everything is sold off the shelves and there's nothing left. But other than that, I actually did get what I need. So I'm gonna go home and then I'll share the receipt and everything that I got. All right, let's get into it. Where is the receipt? My rotisserie chicken somehow opened in the bag. My whole leg smells like meat, so we're off to a great start. So I got some things that I'm gonna use in the meal prep, and then I got a couple of extra things that I needed and some fun stuff that I wanted to try. So altogether, I spent $87. Honestly, not bad considering I accidentally spent $13 on dates. Well, kind of accidentally. This is all they had. I spent $12 on this rotisserie chicken because just needed the convenience for right now, and I'm probably gonna add it on top of one of the salads that I'm gonna make. So other than those two things, I got almond milk, I got some Greek yogurt, peanut butter, 2 cans of chickpeas, peanuts, buffalo sauce. I ended up getting this one. This was another thing that made it a little bit pricey, but I think this will work. I got some lettuce, 2 bags of shredded carrots, cilantro, celery, green onion, coleslaw mix, or shredded cabbage basically is what I needed. Whole bunch of limes. And then for some more fun stuff, we love all of the Siete seasonings. I actually love literally everything from Siete. I've never seen this one, Al Pastor taco seasoning, so I picked this up. I got this Harmless Harvest orange cream organic smoothie. Honestly, it just sounded really good. It was on sale. I don't know, should be interesting. So I'll probably have this before a workout. And then one other thing, I also got this because it was on sale. I usually am just like a black coffee girl, but I'm just gonna see how this is. Girl Scouts Thin Mint Cold Brew. I don't know, we'll see. Seemed fun. Okay, so this is everything that I got. Again, we're gonna be doing a no-bake meal prep. I'm gonna include a grocery list in the description of this video, and that'll cover everything that I'm gonna be prepping in this video because some of this stuff doesn't apply, and then there's a couple of other things. Again, we're doing full no-bake meal prep, all vegetarian. If you wanna pick up something like a rotisserie chicken, like I did, you can do that. We're gonna be making a key lime chia pudding for our breakfast meal prep. We're gonna make a crunchy carrot peanut salad for a lunch meal meal prep. For another lunch meal prep, we're gonna be making a buffalo chickpea lettuce wrap situation. And then for a dessert, we're gonna do another edition of my no-bake freezer fudge that I love so much. I'm really looking forward to doing all of this prep tomorrow, so I will be back then. Oh, now I gotta put away these groceries. Got no room in the fridge. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, happy meal prep day. I desperately need coffee, so I figured we would try the cold brew that I got. I honestly don't have high hopes for this one. So again, this is the Chameleon handcrafted cold brew Girl Scouts Thin Mints. And as a former Girl Scout, we'll see what I think about it. The can actually has a lot in there. Honestly, it is really good. I'm used to just having plain black coffee because that's what I like, or a latte with no sweetener or anything. So it is good because it's sweet. I feel like I'm gonna get sick of drinking it, but not bad, honestly. And Copley's here. She's been barking the entire morning, so if you hear that. All right, let's get into meal prepping. I'm gonna grab all the ingredients that I'm gonna use. I'll go through what each ingredient is gonna be used for, and for substitution options and things like that. I'll mostly go through that as we're making the recipes together. Again, this is an all no-bake meal prep. Very excited for this challenge. I just took out everything that I'm gonna be using aside from spices and things like that and oil. So for breakfast, we're gonna be doing a key lime chia pudding. It's gonna be really, really simple. The key ingredient is our chia seeds, of course. We're gonna be using some Greek yogurt to up the protein in there. So we got fiber and protein, and then some maple syrup to sweeten it. And of course, lots of limes. Let's see how much I end up using, but I got a lot just in case. And I'm gonna be using unsweetened almond milk. You can use any milk that you like. For lunches, I'm gonna do 2 different options for the week. Each are gonna make 4 servings. Everything that I make is gonna make 4 servings, other than the dessert, that's gonna make a few more. But one of the lunches is gonna be a buffalo chickpea lettuce wrap. So I've got my 2 cans of chickpeas. I'm gonna prep it separately and then keep the lettuce on the side. We've got buffalo sauce, I've got some celery, some green onion, a little bit of tahini, and Greek yogurt as well in the sauce with the buffalo sauce, some lemon. It's a really, again, simple, quick recipe. All of these are so quick. And then I'm also gonna be doing a shredded carrots chopped salad with a peanut sauce. It's gonna have dates in it for the sweetener. It's gonna be really, really delicious. And then we're gonna do a dessert, like I mentioned. It's gonna be a no-bake, crunchy peanut freezer fudge. I've shared some freezer fudge recipes before. We use coconut oil and nut butter. This one is gonna be kind of like a payday bar theme. It's gonna have crunchy peanuts in it. It's obviously gonna be peanut flavored, sweetened with maple syrup. So that's the rundown of everything that I'm gonna make. I think this is gonna go by pretty quickly given I don't have to turn the oven on at all. I'm excited about that. Still enjoying this. Okay, so we're starting with the chia pudding. I will link to these containers in the description. I love them. The basic ratio I like to follow for chia pudding is somewhere around 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to a 1/4 cup of liquid. I'm adding Greek yogurt into these ones, so it makes it a little funky. So I'm gonna play around with it and make sure that I get the texture right. I have an idea that I think is gonna work. So the key is to start with the dry stuff, starting with the chia seeds, because if you mix it in the wrong order, there's gonna be clumps everywhere. So we're doing 3 tablespoons of chia seeds per chia pudding. Next, I'm just gonna do a little pinch of salt into each one. Next, I'm adding a little bit of matcha just for color. This is fully optional, just for fun. So I'm gonna do just an 1/8 teaspoon. And it will give you a little bit of caffeine, but that's good for a morning. Then I'm gonna do 1/2 of a lime zest in each one. We really want a strong lime flavor, so I may even end up upping it to 1 full zest, but let's see how it comes out. It's smelling good up in here. I don't know why I said it like that. I think the 1/2 lime is perfect because it's made more zest than I even expected. So consistency is everything, like I mentioned. So now we want to just mix these up to evenly disperse the flavor. I know there's not that much in there, but we've got a little bit of matcha and the lime. It smells so good. Now we're gonna use those limes that I just zested, and we're gonna do juice of 1/2 of a lime in each one. That's about 1 tablespoon if you're using lime juice. All right, now we're gonna be doing a 1/2 cup of almond milk. right, and then we're gonna do the Greek yogurt. I'm also doing a half cup of the Greek yogurt in each one. All right, and then our last ingredient is a little bit of maple syrup for sweetness. You could also do honey if you wanted to, but I like maple. And then we just mix up one more time. And you really wanna mix your chia pudding well because the clumps really will get you. So spend a couple of minutes really mixing. The matcha did not add as much green as I expected. I think I might add another 1/8 teaspoon. Now, usually if I'm developing these recipes live, like I am right now with you guys, I may make changes. So you can always go back to the recipe link that I leave in the caption. And that's what I always recommend because I may add a little bit more lime, take away some liquid once they set and I see how they come out. You could probably do this one with protein powder instead of Greek yogurt. Also, if you're vegan and you don't want to use a dairy-free yogurt or you don't like Greek yogurt, just replace the half cup of Greek yogurt with about a 1/4 cup more almond milk, maybe a 1/3 cup since you're adding the protein powder. I think a vanilla protein would be really good in here. And I like doing protein powder normally, but I know some of you guys don't want to use protein powder, you don't like to use it, so I wanted to give an option without protein powder. I'm gonna set these in the fridge and check out my Instagram for the final product. I'll post a video about these and show what they look like at the end. I'm picturing another little dollop of Greek yogurt on top, some lime zest. Gonna be so good. All right, no bake recipe 2. We're gonna be doing the chickpea lettuce wraps. I'm gonna put the buffalo chickpeas in the container, kind of to the side. And then on the other side, I'm gonna put my lettuce leaves. So then when I go to have lunch, I can kind of make the wraps and eat them like that. So that's the plan. I'm gonna do a little bit of celery in the wraps as well. So I'm gonna start by chopping that up and I'm gonna do a little bit of green onion too. I like to add the celery because it just gives a little bit of a crunch. All right, we've got that little bit of veggie prep done. Now I'm just opening the chickpea cans. The key is you wanna rinse until none of these little bubbles are coming out anymore. Okay, and now we're gonna make the very simple buffalo sauce. Starting off with 2 tablespoons of our Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of tahini. Tahini gives a little bit of creaminess that I really like. Next is gonna be our buffalo sauce. I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup. Next I'm doing juice of half a lemon. Then we've got a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of black pepper, and a half teaspoon of smoked paprika. Let's whisk all of this up. And we're making basically just a creamy buffalo sauce. Now let's add in our chickpeas and mix to combine. Do we mash or do we not mash? It's really up to personal preference. I think I'm gonna try to mash slightly, just a little bit. And I think the sauce amount is actually perfect. I'm gonna use a fork to mash a little. And now let's add in our veg. Mix that in. All right, so let's get these in containers. I will also link these containers in the description. I love them so much. They're all glass. I'm really happy with how the chickpea mixture came out. I've never actually made a recipe like this, but looks really good. Let's do a little taste test. Really good. I like the crunch that the celery brings too. Delish. Now I'm gonna add the chickpeas. While I do this, let's talk about substitution options for a minute. Obviously, I think chickpeas are really nice here. You could do another kind of bean. I feel like a white bean would work. You could use a rotisserie chicken and it would still technically be no bake. I think that would be so delicious. And then you could do, canned chicken. I mean, you could just make the buffalo sauce and then you could use it on anything really. And I'm gonna top each one with green onion. Talk about an easy work lunch. Delish. So easy. Okay, next up, I'm doing a shredded carrot crunchy peanut salad, and it's gonna have this delicious date peanut sauce. And I'm gonna chop up dates and put them into the salad for those little bits of sweetness. I'm honestly obsessed with dates. I got this huge container, so might as well use them up. Like I mentioned before, I got that rotisserie chicken. I think I'm gonna top off this salad with rotisserie chicken. I mean, you could also top it off with some tofu, some crispy chickpeas, lots of options. But grab a rotisserie chicken at the store if you wanna keep it no bake and you want that extra protein. protein, but we're not gonna be lacking too much on protein. We got a lot of peanuts happening in here. I'm gonna start by soaking the dates in a little bit of hot water just to soften them up. Just the dates that are gonna go into the peanut sauce. You don't necessarily need to do it if you have a high-speed blender, but it's gonna make the sauce nice and creamy and not have those little bits in it. So I'm doing 2 dates in the dressing. This, I wouldn't even call this boiling water. It's just hot water. It's about 160 degrees. And I'm just gonna set this aside for 10 to 15 minutes, just while I prepare the rest of the salad. And now we've got just a little bit of veggie chopping to do. So we're just using up the rest of the celery from the last recipe. Save your celery tops. You can put this into a smoothie, just extra nutrients. Just kind of like that. If you don't like celery, you can swap it for something else. You can just leave it out. Do whatever you like. Now I've got about 4 to 5 green onions here, and we're gonna use the white and the green part. Okay, and then our cilantro. We mostly just want the leaves here. And for my cilantro soap gene people, you can, again, just leave it out. It's not gonna ruin anything. I love these beautiful green veggies we've got going on. Okay, dates have been soaking for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's make this peanut sauce. Again, I'm using the NutriBullet. You can use food processor, blender. Even if you don't have a blender, I feel like you could do this with just chopped dates. That's all that really needs blending. I didn't pit them before. You probably should pit them before. So I'm gonna take out the pits. Next, I'm doing a 1/4 cup of toasted sesame oil. Now I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos. You can also use tamari or soy sauce. You're probably just not gonna need to add any extra salt. Next, I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. May end up upping the amount. Gonna do a teaspoon of ginger and a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then for a little bit of spice, sriracha. I don't have very much left. I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon. So this will be kind of like a sweet and spicy date sauce. And if you wanna leave out the sriracha, just sweet. So I'm gonna start by blending this, and then I'm gonna add warm water as needed, maybe some more peanut butter. Okay, peanut sauce is done. I added between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of warm water, so you can just eyeball it. I'm not adding any extra salt. My peanut butter was salted, so it kind of depends on that, and then the coconut aminos versus soy sauce thing, but I just tasted it. It's so good. Now let's get to assembling. I did chop up 4 dates while I was cleaning up and such, so I have that as well. So we're starting with the whole bag of coleslaw mix. You can also use shredded cabbage. Lots of carrots. And if you follow me, you probably know this by now. I love a no lettuce salad, mainly because it's really great for meal prep. I'm going in with the celery, cilantro, green onion, and the chopped dates. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna add in the peanuts and our beautiful peanut sauce. I poured most, but reserved a little. Looks delicious. Let's mix it up. Okay, I'm going in with the rest of the sauce. Delish. The salad's looking amazing. It made so much. I'm glad I used this big bowl. I'm just gonna add the juice of a lime. I probably could just add this right into the dressing, but I forgot. Yum. All right, we have to do a taste test. So crunchy. This is so good. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of salt now that it's all been mixed. Probably just like a 1/2 teaspoon. So happy with how this turned out. I'm definitely gonna do the rotisserie chicken on top. It just sounds delicious. This would also be so good as a wrap. So you try that too. All right, let's see if I can fit this into 2 containers. I feel like I probably can't. These kinds of salads with no lettuce hold up really well for meal prep. You really shouldn't need to store the dressing separately, but I know some people like that, so feel free to do that. I could see this getting a lot tastier as it sits in the dressing. Fridge is feeling very full at the moment. All right, let's make our dessert/snack. It's 4 ingredients, gonna be super quick. All you need is coconut oil. I have unrefined coconut oil, which means it does have that coconut taste. If you don't like coconut taste, get refined coconut oil. Hopefully I have that right. Maple syrup for sweetness. You could also use a sugar-free maple syrup if you wanted to make this low sugar. Our peanuts that we're using again, and then some more peanut butter. I've already measured out everything that we're gonna need, so I'm just gonna add it to this mixing bowl, and then it's gonna go into the freezer. Then our meal prep will be done. So we're starting with a 1/3 cup of coconut oil. Then we've got 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. You could also use crunchy, but we have the peanuts going in as well. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now I'm gonna mix that up first before I add the peanuts. Ideally, you wanna use a peanut butter that has just like 1 or 2 ingredients here. I know it can be hard to find, but that'll give you the best results in terms of texture. Otherwise, you may just need to add a little bit of extra coconut oil. I also wanna say this is definitely not a low fat recipe because I've gotten comments like that before about this one. This one does have like a decent amount of fat. If that's something you're mindful of, maybe not the one for you. But I do like how this one can easily be made low sugar or low carb, keto, if that's something that interests you. And if it's helpful, you can actually microwave this whole mixture or microwave your peanut butter if you're having a hard time getting it all to melt down. Now I'm adding in the peanuts. Told you this one is very easy. We're basically done. We've got our mix, and you can do this in a loaf pan like I'm about to do. I've also done it in a square 8x8 or even 9x9 baking dish. It depends on what you want the squares to be because you can just cut them smaller. I line it with a little bit of parchment paper. If you cut little slits on each side, it makes it a lot easier. So we got that lined, and now I'm just gonna pour the mix into the loaf pan. Try to evenly spread out everything so there's no big chunks of where the peanuts are. And let's top it with a little bit of flaky salt, optional, but fun. Basically, this is just meant to be kind of like a healthier version of candy. All right, let's go over everything that we made today because it was a lot. We did it all with no baking, which I think is really impressive. So we've got our key lime chia puddings, which are already starting to set. We've got our buffalo chickpea lettuce wraps that we can kind of build our own throughout the week. We've got the carrot chopped peanut salad with the date peanut dressing. I think that's gonna be a new favorite of mine. I also shredded up my rotisserie chicken if you are doing that, and I'm gonna add it on top of the salad, so it's already prepped for me. And then of course we have the freezer fudge, which I still have sitting in the freezer. I feel like everything's very flavor packed, it's nutritious, it's gonna be delicious. I think everything came out great. I really wanted to do this no bake video for 2 reasons. One, it's summer, obviously we don't wanna be turning on our ovens whenever we don't have to, so I figured this would be a good way to show some options for no bake. And the other reason is I just love showing that meal prep doesn't need to be that complicated, and when you don't need to turn on the oven, you don't need to turn on your stovetop. It feels so much more doable and so much more attainable, and that's just my goal with everything. So even if you make one of these recipes, each of them are very quick. They don't have a lot of ingredients. Again, you don't have to turn the oven on. So I hope you try one, and thanks for coming shopping with me, watching my meal prep, listening to everything that I had to say. I appreciate it so much, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please, please, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, that's the best way to support me. And if you want to, share my channel with a friend or a coworker or a family member. Tell them that you got some good inspiration for meal prep. That would mean so much to me. So again, thank you for watching, subscribe, and links for everything that you need are in the description. Have a good week.